Good morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning. It's time to rise and shine. Hopefully we have a load today. I mean, I have one booked. I'm going to go to it. I just petted an all-white Pyrenees. Looks like a lab, but it's white. It's pure white. Pretty dog. Yeah, I was taking the thumbnail and the guy thought I was taking a picture of the dog. So I was like, "You want to take a picture of my dog?" So I was like, "Yeah, sure." So I took a picture. So I'm here at a hiding place because I got lucky yesterday. So I delivered my load early. It was supposed to have been delivered at 8 a.m. this morning. I had another load in Kansas City, picking up and then coming back. And for tomorrow morning. And it was going to be, I was like, man, I hope they get me unloaded, but this place is pretty good. That's one of the joys of doing the same thing all the time is you get to know the people, you get a rapport with them, and and I came in and I was like, so my dispatcher wanted me to try to get unloaded early. Do you think that's possible? And I wasn't lying, because who's dispatcher? Me, right? Me. And after we're back. What happened? I don't think there's anything in the title. Put back. They did. I would bail on me too. Just that kind of guy. Yeah. Got it loaded. So the problem with that is that now I have to find a place to park, because while they're okay with me spending the night there, they're not. If they've unloaded me early, I kind of got to get the hell out, right? So, because they do have a small lot, and it's starting to rain, so there you go. Probably be driving in all day. But let's do some shout outs and then we'll talk about a couple of things. All right. Other Trucker James Best, The Hool, Hill Rider TV, Right Lane, Rick LP, Nothing Witty, good morning. Scott, good morning. Scott, I will holler at you once I get rolling. This isn't going to be a long live feed. Good show. I'm Pumpkin. Awesome, Sean. I hope you're doing well over there. Morning Coffee, says The Whole. Jeffrey Like, the ever-present Jeffrey Like. John Armstrong, Jesse Bennett, Bob G, John Dullahite, good morning. Eddie Jotar, good morning, Stoner. What's up, James? Jeff, Big Houston, Robert Daniel, good morning. You are up late. I've been up since 4 this morning. But I figured if I go live at 8:53 Central and I only get 20 people, that means that if I do it at 4 a.m., I might get 5. James Best is the only one I've seen that gets good numbers at 4 a.m. Thinking of heading to Niagara Falls for a family weekend. I did that once when I was 9. My grandmother and my 2 sisters, or 2 of my sisters, we all went to Niagara Falls. That was back when we lived like a rock star. We lived like an hour from Canada. So, but I think Niagara Falls was a little bit further. At least it felt like it in the car. But I was 9, so actually no, it was like 8. I think it was 8. But Cascade Transport, what's up? Go over 8 and go over Niagara Falls in a barrel. Yeah, that's. I don't suggest doing that. Gotta make sure the passports are good. Back in my day, we didn't need no passports. So, of course, this little kid, I mean, what are you going to do? I don't know if my grandmother had to have one or not. I don't know what the rules were back in 1979. So, but, you know, I've been seeing kind of a disturbing trend for the last, I don't know, 5 years, right? You have people claiming to be social justice warriors. These social justice warriors are thinking that they're doing some good by burning down and looting businesses or speaking up against something online, like on Facebook, something that they hate. And the reality is that most social justice warriors are hypocrites that are just trying to force you to look at things their way. It's a mob mentality. And that'll eventually be bad. I mean, it's already bad. When you got little old ladies eating a meal on the sidewalk in an outdoor cafe, and social justice warriors come up and tell her how much of a piece of crap she is and break her dishes, throw her food on the ground. That's just wrong, right? And tell your they just did. No, all you were was an a-hole who threw an old lady's food on the ground and broke dishes that you didn't pay for. But, you know, I have to feel good about what I do. I have to feel like I'm a part of something bigger. Now, that's understandable. Wanting to feel a part of something bigger. And that's what a lot of this stuff is. If you get on social media, you know, you may not be out there in the trenches. You may not be out there in the public being a social justice warrior. But you can do it online. It's easy to do it online. You get on Facebook and you go, man, I am a social justice warrior. Or you get in front of a camera like this on YouTube and you say, I'm a social justice warrior. Are you really? Or are you just someone that wants to bully because you don't agree with their ways or what they've done or what they do? But yet, you're no different. That's what I'm getting at. People that yell tolerance are some of the most intolerant people that you'll ever meet. I'll give you a perfect example. This is human nature, right? I'm not pointing anybody out. This is not like some, you know, indirect message to anybody other than to the people that might, I don't know, if the shoe fits kind of deal. It's something to think about. You can stand for something good and not call yourself a social justice warrior. Okay? And case in point, I was at one of our metal shows, right? The most metalheads you talk to, they're like, I'm very open-minded musically, right? And they get offended if you tell them that they're not. What do? They go, well, you're not open-minded if you don't like my kind of music, right? And so there was a local band that used to play here in Springfield. the band that Richard Christie was, but this is before he was in that band. If you don't know who Richard Christie is, he is one of the staff members at Harrisburg. He used to live in Springfield, was part of one of the pioneer bands in this area, Springfield. Anyway, it's not important. What's important is that particular crowd that went and saw them. They were very, very intolerant. If you came in and you weren't wearing a black metal t-shirt, and if you didn't look the part, if you looked like you didn't belong, you were a target. And then they would turn around and complain that no one would come to the shows. They would turn around that no new people were coming to the shows. They would turn around and like be bewildered by the whole concept that no one wanted to go to the shows anymore. I would tell friends, hey, I know you're not like a, wear every band t-shirt type metalhead. You should come to the show. It'll be fun. And then they go, and then they don't feel welcome. They don't feel like they belong. The people that made them feel like that complain that no one will go to the shows. And what we're seeing is that on a whole countrywide scale is you're being judged for being different. One way or the other. And I watched an interesting video this morning. Matt Walsh talked about the Oscars. Hollywood acting like diversity is a problem, like they're not diverse enough. Oh, you guys remember back in the late 70s, you had a slew of Chinese films, you had a slew of like black-only films. Hollywood has always been try to be diverse, right? And what's happening is these social justice warriors are cramming it down our throats. There is already diversity. I have no problem with diversity. But by saying that there is no diversity, that's diversity, right? So, but the other aspect is you got one side accusing the other side of something that they've already done. In other words, everybody's a hypocrite. You got people blaming, or you got people like accusing. It's kind of like this. It's kind of like if you cheat on your spouse, right? And you go to that guy and you go, man, that guy cheats on his wife. Oh, wait, I gotta call my girlfriend before I call my wife. That's the world we live in today. A bunch of hypocrites. And if there's one thing, if there's one kind of person that I totally despise, it's a hypocrite. Because what was it? It's off a play, but Metallica, said it in the song. When a man lies, he murders some part of the world. And that's exactly what's going on. And, you got the term, he who lives in a glass house shouldn't throw rocks, which is true. But the whole nation seems to be just inflamed with it. And it's in every aspect. It's in Facebook, it's in Instagram, it's in on YouTube. And we're all judging each other off of things that we're no better than. Anyways, let's get some comments here. There has been many comments. You guys hate me at that time. Or a lot of people are driving and listening, so that's good. Good morning, waiting to get unloaded, Thor. Neil. Late 70s, kind of hazy for me. It was hazy for me, John, because I was like, I was a kid. I was a toddler. I was a little wee one. Patriot Acme passports required. That's what I thought. I remember I've been up to Canada, I think twice. I want to say twice. You know, in Niagara Falls is very touristy. I've lived near or in touristy areas. I used to live near Honolulu, Hawaii. Very touristy. I lived near Branson, very touristy. Phoenix isn't very touristy. I mean, there's stuff to do there, I guess, but you know, get off of Facebook, turn off that zombie box, and when you're home, you'll be a lot better. Well, for the white guy, I agree with you. I talked about unplugging by going away to get away for the weekend. That was awesome. It's hard to unplug sometimes, though, especially when we run our businesses off of this whole deal. And so it's hard to unplug, but Facebook is definitely toxic. So what I do is I only post pictures of animals. I do post some articles from Transportation Network on the Snorlord page, but as far as like my personal page, I try to keep. You got to limit your time. It's food, and you consume too much, it's going to be toxic to you. Go from sunny Fort Pierce, Florida, on my 30s, so Southern Rider. Man, the last time I was in Fort Pierce, I was in Port St. Lucie. Port St. Lucie. That's the furthest south I've been to Florida. Oh no, I take it back. I was in the Everglades once to pick up sugar, and that sucked. You know what's worse than a paper plant? The sugar plant. But this video is not going to be very long because I got to get rolling. That's why I can't be found on Fbook. Well, here's the problem with social media that a lot of people are starting to realize. On October 1st, Facebook is changing their terms of service agreement. And the way I read it is that they're worried about getting sued. So if they think that something's not right, they're going to remove it, which they've already been doing that. Now they got terms of service that makes it legal, right? And when you quiet one voice and amplify another, that's a biased media. See, that's the thing. There's an old video from the 80s of some politics stuff that I won't get into, and it was interesting. It was a compilation of a certain politician who literally was ripping off his speeches off another politician, right, and not giving him credit, and the media was calling him out on it. But if you watch the style of reporting that was done, it was true, honest journalism. That was back, somewhere in the 2000s, journalism died. It was a dinosaur in the 90s, and then the 80s. I would imagine it was the start of the 24-hour news cycle. You guys remember, what was it, CNN or Headline News? It was literally just a half-hour forecast played every half hour. Like the same forecast. I mean, I can only imagine what a news anchor felt like. Like, hey, I'm going to report the same thing for, 10 hours a day, 8 hours a day, 16 times. Because I believe it was live every single time. Then as they got bigger and more equipment, they could go out to places. They could do live feeds from police chases. They can go satellite to a burning house, and they realize that creates ratings, right? And so now we have to sensationalize something small, like when you're doing a live police chase from a helicopter in a news program, and they're not doing anything. The cops are backing off a little bit, and there's no excitement. They have to make up stuff to keep it exciting because they don't want to leave the feed just in case something happens. But then it bites them in the butt when there was a police chase where a guy crashed his car, ran into a field, and then shot himself right in the face. And of course, they couldn't get that off the screen quick enough. And I believe you can find it on YouTube. It's the media now, the corporate agenda takes that media and twists it, manipulates it. So you're angry regardless of what side of the fence you're on, even if you're a fence sitter. Even if you sit in the middle and don't want anything to do with either side, the media is designed to irritate you, to get you all riled up, to make you choose a side, to make you lose your common sense. And when you have one group that's being amplified and another group being censored, well, they're right. Facebook has every right to do whatever they want. They really do. They make money off of you getting angry. They make money off of you being happy. Oh, here's a bunch of cat pictures. Oh, isn't that lovely? Isn't that awesome? Here's a bunch of things that we're going to try to sell you based off of that persona. And then the other one, oh, well, it's a dangerous world out there. Look at all these crimes. So we're going to sell you tactical gear. We're going to sell you stuff to make you, because you're afraid of the world. Oh, you drive for a living? Let's show you a lot of camera videos. Let's show you a lot of, dash cam videos. Let's show you. That was dumb. That was dumb. I said camera videos. I'm kind of an idiot, right? So moment of silence for my idiocy. Anyways, they're wanting to sell you based off of what your browser history is, and it's really created this cycle of hypocrisy, because the same things that they accuse of the right of doing, the left has done, and the same things the right is accusing the left of doing, they've done. Everybody's done it, and we all do it in the name of social justice. We're social justice warriors, right? And the reality is, you want to be part of something big, and I get that. And I think that's where I was going earlier. You want to be a part of something big. That's why people have faith. That's why people have religion in their life, is because it makes you feel like you're a part of something bigger. As a metalhead, when you go to some big metal fest, you feel like a part of a big community, right? And a lot of these peaceful, the peaceful ones, there have been peaceful protests, are people just wanting to be a part of something bigger, to make a difference in somebody's lives, which is fine. Everybody needs that. But because of manipulation through the media and manipulation tactics and the mob mentality and the stuff that corporatism has created, It's distorted in this thing, very twisted. That's going to come to light. This fall line is coming. Morning, Daniel. And why I'm procrastinating on posting new content to this new channel of mine here. Well, you know, YouTube's kind of a unique place, right? Because YouTube is a perfect, you know, Facebook, you got to approve people, right? Instagram, you got to approve people. But YouTube's a little bit different. YouTube, anybody can watch. You know, 28 people in here, 29. I guarantee I'm going to have like at least 2 or 3 thumbs down. One of them might be a random going, who's this moron? And then another one or a couple might just be like, this will irritate Steve, or man, I hate this guy, he's talking about something stupid, and give me a thumbs down. And you could be like you could have, I could have a family member start a YouTube channel. It has nothing to do with anybody in for anything, right? They're in their own little world, they're doing their own thing, and YouTube makes it easy for someone to come along and totally tear it apart, stalk you, address your, you know, what they don't like about you, and really cause a lot of noise for doing nothing. There are it's like, as a YouTuber, your life is out there, right? Depending on how much you reveal. And YouTube gives people the platform to tear that apart. And I don't understand that, other than the social justice warrior mindset, mob mentality, which is kind of a, I don't know, a snowflake mentality. To mess with people's lives for just existing. And that's the problem with the world. That old lady sitting at the table eating dinner was doing nothing to anybody. And someone come along and just tries to annihilate her world. You could have a person doing a YouTube video of maybe of their dog, or a YouTube video of you know, I'm going to do a YouTube video of how I cut my grass, right? And someone could come along and say, you know what, I'm going to go war with this person because I don't like them. I don't like how they look. I don't like what they do. I don't like grass cutting. They're grass killers, you know? And do YouTube videos on how they hate this person. And this person's done nothing to any of them, right? And that's the double-edged sword that YouTube is. And it's a shame, because that's the same mentality that's killing our country. That's the same mentality that mob mentality is why we are where we are. And that's sad to me, you know. And there are some really good YouTubers that have gotten off YouTube because of that. You know, I've been on YouTube for 10 years now. And, you know, while this channel's not 10 years old, I have my other channel. But I've been a part of this community for 10 years. And there's this whole fresh new community that their numbers are way better than anybody in our circle. You know, I watched a video the other day of a guy at the Blue Beacon. Just watched his truck. special, no fancy editing, but yet it had thousands of views in a matter of a week. I can't get those numbers. And there wasn't anything special about the video, especially if you're a truck driver who's been to the Blue Beacon, right? Red chicken for president. You know, and like, I actually got a couple of thumbs down on my red chicken videos. It's like, I do something to entertain the kids, right? I do something to entertain my own kids, my own family. They love red chicken. And people have to feel like social justice warriors and give me a thumbs down because they disagree. It's funny. If me entertaining with the silly, stupid rubber chicken, if this triggers you, you've got issues. If this is a trigger, you are weak and you need help. If this triggers you, right? If this triggers you, you are weak and you need help. And that'll probably generate like 5 thumbs down. Probably some kind of retaliation video by somebody. But it's all not going to be all insignificant because we're going to be worried about bigger problems. I guarantee you. And it all starts with the human mind. It all starts with what energy do you put out there. It all starts on how you handle your own life. If people could just be successful at their own life, they would not mess with other people. The majority of the people making the most noise out there in Seattle or in Chicago, people doing the most damage, aren't successful people. They would not destroy businesses if they understood how to run a business. They would not destroy things if they knew that of the damage it causes physically, mentally, and financially. They've got no skin in the game. But they feel good doing it because they call themselves social justice warriors. Right, Lane? Oh, man. I'm going to leave that alone, right? I'm going to leave that alone. Anyways, gotta go. Coffee's almost done. Guys, here's a rule in life I'm going to tell you, okay? If you're miserable, figure out a way to fix it without screwing up anybody else's lives. Don't spread your misery and hate. That's how wars are fought. That's how lives are lost. Think about it. If you're miserable and someone cuts you off in traffic and you run them off the road and you kill them, or because of your road rage you kill a family that's in a minivan next to you that had nothing to do with anybody, your misery caused that. Your misery, your inability to handle that road rage killed that family. Your inability to control your own life is affecting others. We're seeing it on a nationwide scale. On a nationwide scale. Are you part of the problem or are you part of the solution? Peace.